up, y'all? It's Mike Holloway, winner of Survivor Worlds Apart, and you're about to listen to a podcast with two best friends that love to talk about the game that we all love, Survivor. So sit back, grab a Dr. Pepper, because I'm 155,000% sure you're about to love to listen to Dwayne and Dave. Take it away, guys.
Hello, everybody. This is Survivor Talk with D&D. I'm Dwayne.
And I'm David.
And we're just two best friends talking about the show we love, Survivor. And tonight is episode 13. Villains have the most fun. So, go ahead.
Most of the Oscar.
Do what, buddy?
So they also get most of the Oscar nominations too.
Why do you say that?
In the movies, a lot of the villains get the Oscar nominations.
Oh, okay. Hey, I like your background. Are you still in the same room, or did you?
I'm in this room for probably one more week, and then Bailey comes home, so I'll probably have to vacate for the finale podcast.
Oh, gosh.
But then she'll go back, and then for season 32, I'll be back in here.
Children. Anyway, many are watching and chatting together at stwdd.com/live. Enjoy yourselves, chat in the chat room, and have fun. If you're on Twitter, get on Twitter and tweet about us, retweet, let everybody know we're here. Send them a link. We do want to say thank you to Lazarus Metcalf. He's our newest D&D patron. What is a patron? People who give as little as $1 a month to D&D podcasting, because we do Movie Talk with D&D and Survivor Talk with D&D through Patreon. You can find out more about that on our website. Use the link on our page. And of course, thank you for shopping Amazon. Christmas shopping galore. So, all right, my friends, it is time to talk about episode 13. Just right off the bat, David, did you enjoy this episode?
I've enjoyed every episode this season. But this one, I mean, it was kind of like what I thought it would be, like the calm before the storm of next week. It was good. I mean, nothing really changed. I was a little surprised at how a decision that was made at the end, but yeah, it was good.
Spencer surprised you?
Yes. Spencer surprised
you're not the
me.
only one who was surprised by what Spencer. I mean, Andy Baker was like, what? And some other people that we've talked to. So, David, I haven't disliked a single episode this whole season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess if I go back and listen to all of our podcasts, maybe I said I didn't like one as much. But I have thoroughly enjoyed this season so much that, I mean, I even enjoyed last night's episode, even though it wasn't, like big moves and all kinds of stuff. It was still a great episode. It's just a wonderful season. So
it was good. To me, it kind of felt like the part one of two parts, which was next week is, of course, part two.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as climactic as I expected, because I really felt like she was going to go. They were going to make that crazy move to let her go.
Right.
So that wasn't as good, but still the episode itself was good. Still good.
Yeah.
A lot of good people in the show.
Yeah. By the way, a program note, we have confirmed with Kelly Wentworth that after she does her required CBS interviews with those podcasts that get CBS interviews, that we will be her first podcast, long one, like where we get to talk to her for 3 hours. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get to hear a lot of background stuff. As you know, Kelly's our friend, and we chat. She doesn't spoil us or anything like that, but she told us she's really looking forward to getting to tell us a lot of stuff. So be looking forward to that. That'll be shortly after the finale, and we'll be the first ones to get her long term, not those little 15-minute jobbers. It's going to be good, isn't it, David?
I've been writing to try and remember questions I want to ask.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to have to go back 12 episodes and remember something.
Yeah. Well, she'll remember it, so she knows what she wants to talk about. So I have a couple of initial thoughts. If you can't think of a reason when you're asked, then don't say anything. It's best to keep your mouth shut and people not know you're a fool. Then, well, he's not a fool, but there's a saying,
it's
or
called
then to open your
logic. Yeah.
then opening your mouth so everybody knows that you. Yeah, he should have just kept his mouth. He should have just said, "I don't know, Jeff. I just picked somebody."
I thought he was going to pass. I'll just take one.
Yeah,
I don't need another.
yeah.
He looked at Probst like, I'm not even going to look. I'll just pass, Jeff. I'm fine, Jeff. Just two.
Yes.
Me and Kelly's fine.
Yeah.
Kelly would have said, no,
I don't need nobody else out there with me at the temple. So, do you have any initial thoughts?
I hope you people are happy that been waiting for a physical challenge or two, because we got 2 this week and one person almost didn't survive the second one.
Right.
So, but this is why we don't have a physical challenge every week, because these people are struggling.
Yeah, they are.
Especially. Yeah. I know. I mean, they're not eating. They're not, getting good drinking water all the time, but they are just suffering, and you cannot put these people through physical challenges like that. So I hope you're happy.
I think I figured out the final 3, David.
Do we did drum roll or something?
No, I don't have a drum roll. I have an applause button.
Okay.
I have figured out the final 3. The final 3 is Jeremy, Kelly, and Tasha. That's the final. That's my prediction. This week's driving prediction, I will predict the final 3 and the winner. I've already told you the final 3. If you want to know my pick for the winner, look for Dwayne's driving predictions on Monday.
Interesting.
So that was another one of my initial thoughts. I actually originally had a different final 3, and then I thought, nah. So I changed it. Because, heck, I never get them right anyway. So what is it?
I think you have a good chance of being right on that one. I like that idea. I don't know if it's going to happen. I haven't thought about it that far yet, but I like it.
Yeah. Hey, David, is anybody in your family like streaming 8 different movies at the same time or something? Because we don't have your video and you're breaking up audio, and just wondering if everybody in your family's behaving on the internet.
I will make sure. Let me switch back. I'll switch back cameras.
Do you have any other initial thoughts?
One of my first was Spencer just lost. I mean, that was
let's just go ahead and talk about it. Why
he was so proud of his second move, because he claimed the first move of getting rid of Joe or getting rid of Steven, and he's so proud of this move. Go ahead and ask your question.
Well, would it have worked anyway if he had gone with Keith, Kelly, and Abby? Abby was voting with the girls. Abby was not in this.
Right.
Abby was not. So there would have been a tie.
Correct. There would have been a Abby had he gone with Kelly and Keith, since Abby went on her own. Just like Tasha and Spencer said, you can't trust her because you don't know what she's going to do. She went with a weed that did not exist. That's Abby. But had it been a tie, then you got Abby and Tasha not voting.
Wait. Would it have been a tie? No, because it was Yes.
Yeah, it would have been 3 for Abby, 3 for Tasha.
Right.
One for Keith. Thank you, Abby.
Right.
So then Abby can't vote. Tasha can't vote. So it's Jeremy and Kimmy voting Abby, and then Keith, Kelly, and Spencer voting Tasha. Okay.
So Spencer, in our opinion, made the wrong. Why would you want to go to the end with Tasha and Jeremy? Why?
Well, in his mind, he calls them the heavy hitters. Why? Why don't you take what did he call those? He called them something.
Well, he called her goats.
He called them dream goats. Later in the episode, he called them dream goats.
And I have a little bone to pick with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you call Kelly a goat.
Well,
Kelly saved herself earlier in the season, got other people out. Kelly's made some moves this season.
And he even said it in private. He didn't even say it in the group with Tasha to confirm what she was saying. He said it in private,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, there you are. It's nice to see your face again.
I'm trying to get. Oh, it's might be my webcam that's messing up, so I'm going to switch back to the other cam.
All right. So back at camp, from the beginning, I thought, Abby's going probably, because we're getting a lot of snarky remarks from Abby that we hadn't been getting in,
right.
the last 4 or 5 episodes other than last episode. So,
Exactly.
she does the whole good riddance thing and things like that. And, so they're playing up her being annoying and stuff, which we'll talk about that in the Pondering Ponderosa later on. Do you have anything else to say about Abby before I go on to Kelly?
No, go ahead.
Kelly made one of those statements that you go, oh, no. It's like Kelly was trying to think of something to say, apparently.
Exactly. That's what I
now
felt.
we all have equal shots at winning challenges, and the camera goes to Keith. But as soon as she said it, I thought, no, you don't. Keith is there. Keith has been killing it in challenges.
I agree, but to me, it was let me say something that we can all kind of agree on.
Right.
Everybody knows about Keith, but let me just say something that we can all lift up our heads and say, yes, you're right. Even Spencer goes, wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I thought, what? You never,
exactly.
What? So anyway,
to me, that was her trying to get back into the circle of conversation. Yeah.
Keith, a little confessional, points for the cool kids, the cool cats. I wish I was in the loop. I wanted Tasha out. So, but here we get a glimpse of what they do when they get back from tribal council, right?
Mm-hmm.
They start talking about who voted for whom.
I know, out in front of everybody. That really surprised me.
So they're like, okay, how many votes did they get and all this kind of stuff? And they start talking about it. So, we often wonder, how do they know who voted? Because if you're sitting out there and you're the only one who doesn't say who you voted for, it's kind of obvious who you voted for. So, the group dynamics means everybody's going to figure out who voted for who.
Right.
So,
yep, exactly.
Now we know. We always suspected, but now we know.
I mean, I expect this season to be different anyway, because these are seasoned players. They know how to have conversations. So yes, they're going to talk about all this stuff. They're going to try and throw it out in the open. And that's what's so good about this season, is that the alliances are actually there. Nobody's really talking about them, but they are there. They might be small, but they're there. But yeah, I love that they're trying to talk about everything.
Yeah. So Sarah in our chat room, Sarah Christine Richardson, in our question of what was Spencer thinking? She wrote, maybe Spencer was more scared of betraying Jeremy and Tasha, more scared they'd actually go after him more than Kelly and Keith would. But, okay, Sarah, maybe so, but once you get Tasha out, she's out, then you've only got Jeremy, and he's by himself. So
right.
I still think he made the wrong decision. For me, in fact, I don't know if I thought of this on my own or if I caught you and Andy talking about it. I almost feel like it was I don't know, kind of like, these are the better players. I want to be with them.
I want to beat them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he wants to beat those better players, or he wants to be in a more respected final? I'm sorry, but even
yeah,
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but even Abby getting to the final 3 is a strategic move. His part. Everybody should want to take her to the end.
Right.
I was rewatching some friends over that needed to use something and order something. He hasn't watched Spencer. He hasn't watched Survivor. We watched him watch, and he kind of kept up with it. And at the end, he goes, "What's a goat?" Survivor. So I explained to him what a goat is, and it's the obvious thing that you want to, take to the end because you want to win. You don't care who you go with; you want to win.
Right.
He says, "Well, why did they get rid of her?" I said, "That's a great question." I said, "Did you see that girl right there with the blonde hair? See her face? She's asking the same question.
Yeah.
Why did she get rid of her?"
Yeah.
And so, even people that, I don't know. I think you go after, like you said, you go after. To me, a flag should have gone up, and maybe it did. A flag should have gone up when he said Jeremy's second, and Tasha, like he was protecting Jeremy at the reward. They were at the reward. He said Jeremy should probably be second, and so that to me might never say in a couple weeks, but anyway, I agree.
Check your phone. I just sent you a message.
I know.
So,
I know. She stopped, but I don't know if it fixed anything or not.
okay. All right. Day 33. Jeremy, Kelly, and Keith are sitting around talking about the three. I can't pronounce it. Hanapus or
Hanapu. Yeah. Hanapu.
Hanapus. Yeah. Well, they didn't do anything with that, but
It was the first time we finally heard it, though.
yeah. Kelly, we get a confessional about Kelly. And again, this is more and more, and I don't usually analyze edit, and I'm still not, but I guess as I watch Kelly, the feeling I get now is that she's probably not going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So, she's talking about keeping her options open. I don't know what the right choice is. Later on in the episode, she's blindsided, so it's kind of not. So I kind of get the feeling the last two episodes have really put into concrete for me that the nerd herd is not going to beat me in the D&D challenge. I mean, that Kelly's not going to win Survivor.
I understand what's most important to you.
And well, I would love for Kelly to win Survivor. But I don't think she's going to. So.
No, to me, the edit is showing us that she is not in a stable position. She's constantly having to move, constantly having to have conversations with people. It doesn't really show her talking to Tasha at all. This was like one of the first times we saw her talking to Jeremy, and it was a San Juan del Sur connection. It wasn't anything about the game. Right. She has talked to Spencer. She's obviously talked to Keith. He picked her right away, and she talks to Abby. We don't see her talking to Kimmy except last week, which seemed to dissolve this week, that we don't get anything else. So that's the part I agree with you that we're reading or that we're seeing in this edit, that they're not showing her having a stable plan to the end. I'm going to hit you on to and get to the end that way somehow.
Right. Yeah. So, here we get them talking about votes, figuring out. Oh, I already said that. I'm sorry. Jeremy and Spencer on the beach again. And I was right last episode.
Absolutely right.
This is the next morning. It's not a clip from the previous episode. They're out again with their coffee, wearing the same clothes.
Which I went back and watched just to make sure.
They're on the beach again, and I was surprised that I'm about to sneeze. I was surprised about the title was not Buyer's Remorse.
Yeah. I think this was just a little red herring scene, because all it was about was I'm still worried about the Girls Alliance.
Yeah.
Which was gone. Right. I didn't really expect it to last much longer than an episode, but I'm worried about Tasha. Really? Because I don't think Jeremy's worried about Tasha.
Yeah.
Which shows who Tasha's close to, which is Jeremy.
Right.
And then they're worried about Kimmy. But if Tasha doesn't go, Kimmy's not going to go. So,
yeah. All right, let's get to the reward challenge. Playing for a day, dinner, and night at the temples, a blessing, and some ladies dancing. All right. On the surface, it doesn't really sound like that great of a reward to me, but I bet when you're there, it's pretty incredible.
It's food. It's sleeping in indoors.
Well, that's true.
Even outdoors.
But oh man.
But it's also separation. Whether you take 4 or you take 3, it's separation. You are free to talk about anything.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that in a second. It's a second chance for Keith to win it again. All right, so Keith wins.
Wow.
Do you want to talk about this challenge at all? It was a really good challenge. I really liked it.
Love this challenge because I love that you have to make a decision based on where you are in the game with the rope. I love that.
Yeah, me too. So he wins. Obvious choice, take Kelly, because she took you. So you're not going to get any ramifications from that, right?
Right.
Second choice, not so easy. Who knows why he took Spencer, but he did take Spencer.
But you know what? I think it was the best choice because that is a threesome that if they're still good with Abby can change the face of the game. Right. That's who you're not going to get Tasha away from Jeremy, and you won't get Kimmy away because she's been with Jeremy since the beginning as well.
Right.
So why not this? If I'll give him credit, whether he did it on purpose or not, I don't think he did, but this was probably the best 2 people Keith could have taken on the reward. Although, if you'd taken Abby instead of Kelly, He might have still been able to keep Kelly. However, Kelly did pick him for the family visit. So he kind of had to do that.
Yeah. Of course, what's her face?
That girl over there.
Yeah.
Tia or
Francisca.
The Fox lady.
Tasha was not happy.
No.
Oh man. All right, but I'm not wanting to go on this reward with just two people. I'm sorry, but you know what? Kudos to CBS. This is why they do this, right? This is what helps the game not be so predictable, right? You have 3 that get to go off by themselves and 4 that have to stay at camp for almost 12 or 18 hours apart.
Right.
That is going to change the dynamic of the game. So whether you go on the reward or whether you stay back, things are going to change.
Yeah, and it couldn't have worked out better. Yeah, it couldn't have worked out better for the edit because Spencer is the one that could flip. Jeremy's not going to flip. Jeremy going with Kelly and Keith will be a waste of a time away. So
I love what Tasha said. Probst is like, you look a little irritated. She's like, you know what? Whether I go on the reward or whether I stay back, I'm taking advantage of this time away.
That's right.
Great answer.
Just because they got a reward doesn't mean we're not going to work.
Yeah. So, all right. While the reward, we go back to camp. And of course it starts. That would have been a great reward. And
this is how interesting this edit is, that they show us the camp before they show us the reward. Because many times when we come out from a commercial, they go right to the reward. They don't always go to camp. But I think they're pointing us to the more important conversation and what's going off at camp.
Okay. All right.
I wrote, this group has no love for Abby. They just
no.
She's the person that one of these things just doesn't belong here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how they treat her.
Right. But before we get to how they treated her, when they were still all 4 together and talking, it was Keith is underestimated. He's the new challenge beast. It was all Keith hate.
Yeah.
Keith hate. His ears were burning.
Yep.
All right.
That's why I had that look on his face while he was watching the dancing. Yeah. Why are my ears burning?
Yeah. And then we get the title. Abby says, people want to take me as a goat. I like watching them struggle. I'm a villain and villains have more fun. Why not? I'm a villain and villains have more fun.
Yeah. But even this was really, really good. This segment had a really key moment for me, which could come back in the finale, because we're all waiting for Tasha to seek forgiveness for something. I don't see what she's done yet that needs forgiveness. We keep talking about that.
Ooh, I know what it's going to be.
Do you want to do it?
No, go ahead.
Thank you. Are you done? I'm just kidding. Jeremy is hesitant about voting out Keith, which we've talked about this. He's been in on the conversations, but where have we seen Jeremy say we need to do this, do 1, do 2, do 3? Jeremy's been good about blending in, being a part of the conversation, trying to steer the conversation, Kim Spradlin style, not necessarily trying to rule the conversation. And then he, because he even mentions in a confessional, he says, I didn't want Joe gone. I wanted Abby gone because Abby is untrusting. You don't know what she's going to do.
Right.
And then he talks about having food at day 39. I'm like, oh, are you jinxing yourself by talking about being here on day 39?
Yeah. He says, I just want to get to the final 3.
There's going to be food on day 39. I'll be fine. I want that breakfast.
Right.
So the next part, Tasha talks about Jeremy needing to let go of control for a minute and trust her. Mm-hmm. Let her make the move. Let her do it. Everything is not going to be in your control, which tells us, Jeremy has been in control, or at least he's seen as being in control to this point, which, Jeremy has to let go a little bit is what she's trying to say. So, or he may be out. This is the first time we've heard Tasha say anything about Jeremy that's not 100% positive. Mm-hmm. She's talking about, you need to let go and let me do this. I'll make this move, or this could be the start of her deciding that she needs to get rid of Jeremy because she can't beat Jeremy right now. I don't see how she can. Right. He's got too much love on the jury. So this was really interesting to me. This could be the planting of a seed of Tasha making a move on Jeremy.
Okay. All right. Now,
I don't think we've seen anything like that. We've seen Spencer talk about it, but we haven't seen Tasha talk about it.
Okay. Well, I'll get into who I think she's going to hurt in just a minute, because it doesn't fit into this scenario yet.
Mm-hmm.
Why ask? We'll just go ahead and handle Camp before we handle the reward, even though Camp was split.
Yeah, I got
Why ask Abby? Let's see. What did she say exactly? Would you feel some type of way if I sat down with Jeremy and talked? First of all, you know Abby well enough to know that she's going to feel some type of way no matter what you do. And secondly, why not just wait an hour? Why ask that question? It just draws attention to the fact that you and Jeremy want to talk.
Without her.
Yeah. I didn't think that was very good gameplay.
I didn't either. After 33 days, I would think, especially Tasha knows a little bit how to deal with Abby. And to me, the first move should be, hey, Jeremy and I want to talk. Would you sit down with us and talk for a minute?
Yeah.
After that conversation, go get wood, go get water, go get something, go to the beach and get Jeremy to walk a different way. And then you meet somewhere else.
Right.
But include Abby. You got to include Abby.
Yeah.
This kind of told us as well. Like I said, they've got no care for Abby. She's
right.
not important to them. They don't need her. They still feel like they have Spencer. Production got them to say, oh, we're worried about Spencer on reward. Well, I don't think they were all that worried because Spencer seems gung-ho about going with the great players.
Right. It's funny, though, because Abby sees the ulterior motives in everything. You say, Abby, I think you look beautiful today. She'll go, what do you mean? Are you saying I wasn't beautiful yesterday? Right? Am I right?
I can't wait to talk about Ponderosa.
Oh, yeah. All right. We had that little awkward moment. All right. So that's enough about Cam. Anything else about Cam?
Just so the chat room knows, if you put up a boot order, we're not going to talk about it right now. You guys want to have that conversation go? Well, they're not spoiling anything. They're just predicting. Well, so if you want to talk about that, keep talking.
Yeah, they're talking amongst themselves. That just means they have to listen again later because they're not listening to us.
And yes, Grace, we're going to talk about that comment. Yes.
All right. So the reward. Spencer gets even more second chance talk in his confessionals. Mm-hmm. He is the poster child for Survivor's second chance.
Yes.
They are giving him every single possible opportunity, and he is taking every single opportunity and using it. So, and my thought was, why not grab one of those gold immunity necklaces off one of the dancers? There was like 5 just... or 6 or 7 just waiting to be taken.
Yeah.
Of course, we get a final 3 promise over a meal that, none of them actually meant except maybe Keith.
And then we get immediate retraction from Spencer.
Yeah.
I just made a final 3 pack, but I've also got one with them. So I'm not really going to lock into either one because it's too early. But he had a great, great, great point in that this final 3 pack depends on number 4. And there's no way I'm leaving my game in the hands of number 4. And that's Abby.
Right.
He's just like Tasha said, not going to leave her game in the hands of Abby.
No. Anything else about the reward?
No. A lot of food.
No, yeah.
That's about
lots of food. Yeah. You know what, though? For me, when I went to Maine for the Durham Warrior Survival Challenge, and I didn't get to shower for 2 days, and I was out in the woods and everything, I was miserable. The best reward for me would be a shower.
But you know what? When I was in Durham, Maine, participating in the Durham Warrior Survival Challenge, never once did I think about getting a shower. Just never crossed my mind. I didn't smell anybody. I didn't smell myself. I didn't smell anything.
Well, no, it wasn't because of that. But you got to get in water. You got wet, which is like you got like a bath.
Yeah.
In the lake. So you got refreshed and you got your hair wet.
Believe me, I wanted to do the puzzle. I didn't want to go around with that barge.
All right, let's talk about the immunity challenge of death.
Oh my goodness.
Let's throw physically exhausted people in the ocean and see what happens.
So let's throw a pier let's throw a boat and some nets. Wait a minute. The people on the internet really want a physical challenge. Okay, let's double the length of the challenge. Throw another 2 boats, another 2 nets, another couple piers, make the piers about 2 inches wide, and then let's put a dock that they have to jump off of. Then push out the buoys. Nope, push them out further. Push them out further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make the wood really wet and slippery. Yeah, that's right. That's how you do it.
And when we do their medical before they go out there, make sure you put a little lotion on the bottom of their shoes.
Yeah.
We don't want any solid traction going out there.
I said oil. Wesson oil on the boats, please.
Here, guys, dip your shoes in this. It'll help you with traction when you go out there.
I loved it. What a great challenge, though. Great challenge for this part of the season. I love it. They're all tired, and you make them go out and do that. But, I mean, okay, we know that they actually have people underwater watching everything.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't call medical first. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I know. I don't remember what he said. I don't think he said divers, but he said something, and it wasn't.
I think he said rescue team or something.
Yeah, but anyway. So a lot of falling, a lot of sliding.
Yeah, if you've ever seen a behind-the-scenes movie, you'll see that when people run, there's a track beside them for the camera. And that's pretty much how these challenges are done. There is somewhat of a setup where the cameras go along with the runners. And I was reading today about the aerial shots. When they do the aerial shots, it's usually fill-ins. It's not the actual competitors because there's always cameras and people in the water around them.
Right.
So, safety team, yeah. I think that's what it is. Sarah just posted in her chat room. He called the safeties.
That's right. Brenda. Safety team. Yeah. They're the ones that are right there in the water waiting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
You know what? The only bad thing challenge was what was getting a second chance.
The puzzle.
The puzzle that was never used in the collars, Worlds Apart season. So you know what? It would have been neat. Instead of getting all goofy and talking about a poor puzzle, a 5-piece puzzle that didn't get used, which was done in 15 seconds, which Spencer went back and studied that puzzle because he probably studied every challenge on every returning. But what would have been neat was if CBS had done some sort of Twitter challenge. Of course, they can't do it because it shows different times, different feeds. What's getting the second chance in this competition? Probes doesn't need to tell us about a puzzle. Put it online, make it a contest or something. I don't care. I just... really? Yeah. You're giving a puzzle a second chance.
Yeah, that's right. The puzzle was supposed to be the equalizer. But, as you said, Spencer, because I saw it on Twitter, someone said you need to go back and learn that puzzle because it didn't get used, and they'll probably bring it back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Spencer went, based on what I saw on Twitter today. So Spencer went, looked at the puzzle, and memorized it. He didn't figure it out in 15 seconds. Probst was like, oh my gosh, that was awesome. I bet afterwards Probst is like, you jerk. But yeah. I mean, there was no equalization with that puzzle at all because he already knew it. He literally just went up there and stuck him in the right spots. So
Jeremy wanted to start working. Spencer's like, let me just open a box. Just open a box.
Yeah.
Little piece in the corner, right piece in the top.
Yeah. Okay. Even though I knew she was going to be okay, it was a scary feeling, a very surreal feeling watching the show and hearing her in the distance yelling for help.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That was crazy.
Even when she was trying to stay afloat, you saw it with the buoy and somebody said, why didn't she just hang on to the buoy? I'm like, well, she was tired. She had to get back to the dock.
Right.
And that's how long that swim was. I went back and watched again, and you see her laying back to do like a backstroke, and water's just going over top of her face.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Yeah, and what's bad about that is Probst can't be in both places, so he's not watching her. All he does is hear her start yelling for help.
Yeah,
so it sent chills up my spine, and it was scary. It scared Tasha. She was.
Oh yeah, and it's like what happened to Joe. She did all she could. She used all of her energy, and it was just not your feeling. You're right, because you're in a situation where there's only one place to go, and it's down.
That's right. All right, now I can talk about what I think where Tasha's going to have to quote unquote ask for forgiveness later, because what they've done here with this what they showed us was Kimmy needing caring from Abby, Kimmy leaning over Tasha and crying and hugging her. It's like Kimmy is very close to Tasha. So I think they're setting us up for the blind side of Kimmy by Tasha. So you think she's going after Jeremy. I think it's going to be Kimmy.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Absolutely. That's good. So that makes me wonder, though, because, I mean, this is like Jeremy's season to lose right now, the position he's in. So it's almost like Jeremy doesn't know about it. He gets no blame for it. Or does everybody just presume Tasha was the culprit behind it? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I just don't think it could be Jeremy because I think he's going to be in the final three. So if she tried, it wouldn't work. I think she actually succeeds in getting rid. I mean, maybe Kimmy's the fourth one. And so it's Kelly and Jeremy and Tasha and Kimmy, and she gets rid of Kimmy or something.
I'm saying it's Jeremy in with Tasha to get rid of Kimmy. Why does Tasha get all the blame? That's all I'm wondering.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just speculating anyway. And if you watch my driving predictions, you know I don't speculate very well. So,
but you do drive well while you're predicting.
And then we have a pretty good indication that the plan is not going to work when Keith says how easy it will be to take out Tasha, Kimmy, and Jeremy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be easy.
Yeah, I love that he just sits down and says, so we all good, right? I don't need to hunt you down or hunt you down to vote because you two got kind of a togetherness. That's called an alliance.
Okay, well now that was later.
Even though they didn't. Well, that's back at camp right after Tasha and Spencer talked.
Yeah, I was talking about his confessional right after the challenge.
Okay.
He sits there and is like, it's gonna be easy. We got it made. Tasha, Kimmy, and Jeremy just go boom, boom, boom. It's gonna be easy.
Now, did you think he was gone or did you think it would be Abby?
No, I predicted
at that point.
I was hoping.
Well, I know that's what I'm.
Oh no, at that point I figured it was gonna be Abby.
Yeah.
So before Keith and Abby and Kelly and Spencer talk for a useless time on the beach, Tasha needs some time. It was scary for her. She walks off. She's scared. She thinks she's gonna.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so now we're to that point where Keith and Abby and Kelly and Spencer are talking, and he says what you said, which was kind of, "I'm not going to have to come out and find you, Emma."
So now we got. I know he even names their cities. I guess where they're from.
Yeah.
And now we got voting blocks, alliances, and togetherness. Because you two got a togetherness, pointing at Kelly and Abby. So
yeah.
You two were together, so you two the same, which they weren't.
Yeah.
So.
Abby talks about, I just need to get to the end. And I thought they never had her. Those three never had her.
No, it was more like just, are you going to vote with us? It was nothing more personal. It was nothing more, what do you think? It was more, are you with us? And yeah. Exactly. She's starting to think about her final three, and is that the best situation for her?
Right.
And who knows when that confessional happened, whether it was in that order or not. But it's Spencer's the one that looks at her, and I think he reads her and says, "Nope, we don't have her."
Yeah.
I'm not even sure Spencer was in that group anyway.
Yeah.
He seems so like you said, in going to the end with strong players. What he feels are the strongest players.
All right. Here's where I take issue with Tasha and Jeremy and Spencer. Tasha said we cannot let Wentworth, Abby, and Keith get to the end. That would be an abomination. Maybe in another season you take a goat like that, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, hello? I don't think so.
A disservice to the people that voted us here. What about the people that voted them there?
Yeah.
I mean, hello. Wow. That was pretty bad. I'm like, she is not going to finish this sentence. She is not going to finish going where she's going. Hello, I'd like to see what Keith and Abby and Kimmy, well, not Kimmy, but Kelly think about that. Oh my goodness. Hold on, let me write that down. What were you thinking?
Yeah.
When Tasha said. So, man. Wow.
See, I could see, I mean, Abby has even said they want to take me as a goat. And she owns it. Keith, I think, would probably like, okay, I could see why. I've been kind of doing whatever they want. But Kelly as a goat? What? I don't think.
Yeah, see, as little as we've seen of Kelly's game, we've seen more than what they've seen, is what it seems like. I guess we're just respecting more what she's done and how she's stayed in the game. When she was
so.
the bigger threat, they wanted her first, and then they ended up losing Savage, but then they went after Sierra instead of Kelly. Why did they change? Because Kelly made herself less of a threat, which is part of the game. But whether we're sticking up for her or not,
hey, I'm sticking up for her. I don't care what people say.
Yeah,
we're just two best friends. We're not a news organization.
That's right.
we don't have to be unbiased. We can be as biased as we want. Right. But in all fairness to Tasha, she was probably just lumping Kelly in with those two because she's with those two. So
yeah, a lot that we see is said because people need to hear it.
Yeah,
I said things we played that people need to hear,
and you said things.
And I'm sure you heard things.
To hear. And you said a lot of stuff that
I'm
didn't need to be heard.
Anyway, a lot of this is you need to be there, not them. Let's confirm that.
Right.
And the more they say that, it seems like the more and more Spencer is drinking that Kool-Aid, until they vote him out.
Right.
But I agree Kelly is a goat either, but definitely as an underdog, like Belinda says in her chat room, that she's just right now she's swimming by herself. I mean, she might have Keith, but she's still swimming by herself because Keith has no power. His immunity, that's bad for her, unless they decide to fight over Kelly to take her to the end.
Yeah. All right, you ready to go tribal council?
Let's see. Is there anything else we cannot let that? Spencer wants to, just like I said earlier, Spencer wants to play. Not the Dream Goats. I don't understand that, and it's a point of decision Spencer's going to make because he is like the cog in this vote that's going to decide which way it goes because his vote could have decided both ways.
Oh yeah,
and I just think it's crazy that he went the way that he did.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but if I'm choosing between two people I know I can beat and two people that I respect greatly, I'm taking out the two people I respect greatly. Sorry.
Exactly, because you want to go with. I mean, you're here to win $1 million. You're not here to make friends.
I'll get to the final three and say, sorry, fans that are watching. I'm sorry, this is going to be boring. That I'm going to win 8-1 to 1, but I wanted to win.
You know what's going to happen? This is the decision that lost the game for Spencer, because Jeremy and Tasha will take Spencer out.
Absolutely.
They would rather. Well, I don't know. Would they rather take Kimmy? I don't know.
If they feel like they can beat her,
Well, I know, but Kimmy's got the whole family thing.
That's
you know what? They're going to take Keith. They'll take Keith.
No, I think I would lean more towards taking Kelly, like you said earlier.
Well, I think
it's going to be Kelly or Keith.
Yeah, they're going to end up taking Kelly, but I'm just. Well, I think so. So, all right.
Whichever one doesn't win immunity next, they'll take out the other one, and then they'll take out Kimmy probably.
And we have immunity necklaces and immunity idols. So
this is true. We know that's coming because they keep shoving that down our throats.
Yeah, there's still 2 idols in play, and I think they get played at the same time. And protect the only 2 people that got voted for, however that works out. All right, there was a couple really good quotes in Tribal Council. Spencer made one that I really liked. Mm-hmm. Any event in Survivor is an opportunity for change, good or bad.
Right.
That was a very good quote. Funny, Keith feels pretty confident that his we will reign supreme. I'm pretty confident that my we will reign supreme.
I like Jeremy's answer better. What do you think? Which
we? Another great quote. That's right. Yes. Yep.
I like how Probst started out by saying, all right, so let's fill the jury in on exactly what happened to you people.
Yeah.
About the reward, and then about the choices you made, Keith, and then about Tasha almost drowning.
Yeah.
As the jury's like, oh, wow. So I'm like, jury, you should have watched. We just watched it for the last 40 minutes. So.
All right, Abby's voted out. Kelly looks confused. Kelly and Keith are on the bottom.
Yes, they are, very much so. And Kelly's face shows that she is totally perplexed by Spencer's choice of going with the heavy hitters versus what he considers the goats. To answer, let's see, I think it was Belinda's question, why did Abby vote Keith? Well, the last conversation, that was the we that she chose to go with was Spencer, Kimmy, and Tasha, Jeremy, and Kimmy, and the last conversation they had with her was Keith. So they obviously hadn't told her anything unless they were just telling her Keith to keep her that way. But that's why I think Abby voted Keith, because she decided to go with that we.
Okay. Kelly Wentworth said that Abby was voting with the girls. She was still holding on to
that.
She was still holding on to the all girls thing.
Really? Because Kelly wasn't voting with the girls.
I'm just telling you what she told me.
What does she know? Just because she's there.
Yeah, really.
She's watching just like we are.
Yeah. It's like she has inside information. All right. So I want to, speaking of next time on Survivor, Dalton Ross had a good question to Probst, and Probst answers really good. So do you mind if I read?
Not at all.
Dalton Ross says, okay, 6 players left as we head to the finale reunion. What can you tell us about both next Wednesday night? Jeff Probst. The finale is phenomenal, historic, unpredictable, and ultimately satisfying. I think it will cap off in grand fashion what most fans will regard as one of, if not the greatest season of Survivor. I have absolutely loved the way this group played. I am proud and impressed by the level of fierce dedication to playing to win. Everybody went big. I hope future players take a note from this season. You want to be a part of something amazing? You want a shot at being asked back? You want to be remembered? You have to play big. You have to remember that if there are 20 people playing, 95% of you will lose. So you truly have very little to lose. Go big or do yourself and your family a favor and stay home. Smile emoticon.
This reminds me of the article. I think we talked about it with Andy, that Pat, I think it's Ferrucci, wrote on True Dork Times about Probst constantly preaching about you have to do big moves. You have to make big moves.
Right.
And Sierra even playing up to that. Why won't anybody make big moves with me? And it's almost like a assumed fact that you have to make big moves to win, when in fact you don't always have to make big moves. You just have to make the right moves. But what I get from that statement, to me, sorry, Probst, is if you're entertaining, if you make good confessionals, you're going to get invited back. You know, if you're good TV, if you're interesting, you're going to get invited back.
Really? That's what you get from that?
That's kind of what I get from what Probst wants. I mean, yeah, he wants big moves. He wants people to do big things. But I mean, how did Kelly Wentworth get invited back? She didn't get to make a big move.
Well, that's true.
She had a few good confessionals. She's a smart person.
Yeah.
She's a savvy player. She knows it. She's also attractive. So maybe that's why she got voted back.
Yeah.
But still, why? I mean, he wants big moves. He wants drama. He wants excitement. And so do we all, to a degree. But I like the sly players too. Kim Spradley made big moves, but she also made subtle moves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's wrong or what he said was wrong, but at the same time, he wants big TV.
Yeah. Right.
He's going to keep preaching it.
Right. All right. Anything else about the episode before we get to the next part of the show?
I did not get to watch any of the secret scenes. Belinda, who was it? Vader Girl said that Abby Maria has a great confessional where she praises Kelly's gameplay.
Oh.
And she called Tosh and Kimmy the goats.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
But it's talking about the big gameplay. Remember when he talked to Tyler? I think he told us in that interview that you had with him. Excuse me. Remember when you talked to Tyler?
Mm-hmm.
He talked about how he wanted to go in and play big. He wanted to be in the center. He wanted to get involved. But as soon as he got there, he saw too many alphas in the middle playing the big game. So he had to play on the outside to pick up the pieces. And that's what he was quietly doing.
Right.
Will that get him invited back? Probably not, because of the way he played. But he felt like he didn't have much choice. And I totally understand it. Totally agree with it. So it's not always playing big. It's playing smart, getting to the end and winning.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Probst said in that quote, possibly the greatest season ever, which makes me think this finale is going to be phenomenal.
So what would it take to be phenomenal to you? Shocking, or it would have to be shocking to me, as in surprising.
Big moves, some crazy moves.
I mean, like a Jeremy vote out would be amazing to me, because he just seems so in line for the win. Can you imagine if they blindsided Jeremy in the final 4 after he, gets to that point, after blindsiding Spencer, and it's an all-girl finale? Hey.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, is there any final 3 that would disappoint? I mean, according to Spencer, Jeremy, and yes, exactly. According to Tasha, Spencer, and Jeremy, if it's Keith, Kelly, and Kimmy, that would probably be a disappointment.
But not to me, because that would mean they did something to get there in this last episode that's going to be Cool.
On this, we completely agree. You can't get to the final of this group without doing something big.
Yeah. All right. That is our recap.
Listening to a podcast is free. Putting on a podcast each week takes time and costs money. Please support Dwayne and David by doing your online shopping via their Amazon link at www.stwdd.com/Amazon. This is Peter DeRota. Thanks for listening. Now back to the show.
Thank you, Peter. He's one of our listeners who wanted to do an Amazon spot for us. Thank you.
Steady.
All right, it's time for our listeners' thoughts. So we've got a pretty good amount of feedback tonight. So we'll start with Lazarus. And here we go. Bring me the finale already. Decent episode to lead us into our last night next week. I must say, after seeing Tasha and not thinking she can win, she does have an angle now. From the edit, she pushed the Abby vote. She can pull the integrity of the game card if she makes it and appeal to players it may work with. As I stated prior weeks, I do not dislike Abby. This is a TV show. I just hate her non-existent, or maybe non-strategic is the right word, gameplay. I do not dislike Keith, but if they get him out next, hooray. Kimmy, while her chances of winning are low, is not a GOAT to me. She is a player that has few sands left in the hourglass to make her move, though. Jeremy, Kelly, Spencer, and Tasha are all viable winners in my book. I also became a patron and took the D&D dive, subscribing to the movie podcast. I'll have to catch up on that backlog over time. Have a good one, Laz. Thank you, Laz. Yeah, movie talk with D&D. In fact, Rogue Nation came out on video, I think. Didn't it?
I don't know. I think
don't
so.
know either. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not sure. Yes. Wait, I don't know. Anyway, we did a podcast about it. We did a podcast about it because we watched it when it came out in the theaters.
All your personalities just came out in 3 little seconds. Yes, what? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. All right, David, you have the next one.
It's Grace from Nashville. Hey there, fellas. I'm Grace from Nashville, Tennessee, and this is my first feedback. So fingers crossed I don't mess this up and that everything makes sense. Oh, I'm sure it will. Side note, love the podcast. Y'all are my favorite. Hey, you're my favorite, Grace. Even though I have a Gracie, but Grace will be good. I was really curious as to how this episode would go. Since the merge, I wanted my final 4 to be Joe, Keith, Spencer, and Wentworth. Had they gotten rid of Abby last week, I firmly believe that they would have been the case. That would have been the case, and they would be our final 4. Getting rid of Joe was the right move, but I think they should have waited. Spencer is playing a really good game, but if he gets to the final 4 with Tasha, Jeremy, and Kimmy and doesn't win immunity, he's gone. He is on the bottom of that group and will get voted out the same time he was voted out the first time he played. Now, do you think he's on the bottom, or is Kimmy on the bottom? Because we don't see Kimmy talking that much unless Spencer's gone.
I think Kimmy's on the bottom.
I think the real conversations are included with Spencer. I do too.
Right.
As you all have mentioned last week, Wentworth isn't getting the greatest of edits. Her game is so strong, and it would be such a shame for her to not make it to the end. Love Lady Wentworth. Keith, let's be honest. We all love him. You can't not love Keith, but he hasn't done anything major in this game for him to win. That may change next week, but he needs to do something big and fast to have a chance at winning if he makes it to the final 3. Well, Grace, if you follow the edit, he cannot win this game because he has done nothing except show up in the challenges. Any plan he's been on, he's been wrong. Okay, challenges. I really wish they would stop with this whole, this is this person's second I'm with you, Grace. This is this person's second chance they lost or won in the first time, at the first time, blah, blah. Let's just get to it. Put a little ticker tape thing at the bottom. Tell us at the bottom what it is.
Yeah, there you go.
At this point in the game, if you're going to do second chance challenges, do ones that really had an impact on the players, like the challenge that Spencer lost and he got sent home, and same for Keith. That's a real second chance challenge. Hopefully they'll surprise me with that next week. Anyway, yay Keith for winning and picking Spencer and Wentworth. I know I'm not the only one that was really excited about those 3 working together and talking at the reward, which was really awesome, by the way. I like that they didn't show much going on back at camp, because what would have been going on? None of those 3 are going to try to talk to Abby about strategy, and it was obvious that they were going to be talking about voting out Keith because he is good at challenges. Abby is also not the brightest thinking, that they would want to work with her. But good for her for trying to change her game up. Immunity. Finally, a new challenge. That jump going from boat to boat made me nervous. Just looking at it, surprised more people didn't get hurt.
I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, yay, Spencer, for solving that puzzle like some kind of genius. Well deserved. Tribal. I never want to hear the word "we" again.
We.
It was also kind of obvious that Abby was getting voted out, especially after Spencer shook his head to Keith. Theories on the finale.
All right.
So she's covered the whole recap, every person, and now she's going to the finale.
It's time for Grace Crazy Theory.
After discussing with another Survivor fanatic at work, I am so tongue-tied right now. Hang on. After discussing with another Survivor fanatic at work, this is what we decided could be the first time in Survivor history.
All right, here we go.
Pay attention. Theory number 1. Oh, wait a minute. You can't give 2 theories if this is the one thing that's going to happen next time. Okay.
She's our guest. She can do whatever she wants.
That's right. She's got 2 theories. Theory number 1. They do 2 votes in the same tribal. Pretty sure this hasn't been done before, which would end up really interesting with the 2 idols in play. Whoever uses it the first vote couldn't use it the second vote, or they both use it at the same time, which would leave 3 people safe at either 6 going to go to 5 or 5 going to 4. Exciting. I agree with that theory. I think when somebody plays their idol, the other person is going to play their idol too.
Okay.
And that's going to immune those 2 people and the immunity necklace wearer, which is going to leave either 3 people or 2 people eligible to be voted out. So that could be where Tasha wins the immunity and Tasha and Jeremy vote out Kimmy if it's down to final 5. Like Keith goes first. So then it's Spencer, Kelly, Jeremy. Tasha wins. Instead of voting out Spencer, they vote out Kimmy. And then they vote out Spencer final 4 and take Kelly to the end because Kelly wins the final immunity challenge. We are so in tune tonight. This is scary.
This is good stuff.
There you go, Grace. Way to hit it. I'm not even going to read her second theory. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you are. Go ahead.
Theory 2. There's a tie as to who wins the game. That would be epic. That would be epic. Out, unbelievably epic. With the final 3, there's 10 people in the jury. Vote could go 5 and 5 or 4-4-2. With this season, it would not surprise. Now, 4-4-2 is also a soccer formation, but anyway, with this season, it would not surprise me if it ends up in a tie. Mike, now who would tie? I think Jeremy and Spencer could tie if Spencer does a big enough move to get to the final with Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
My guess, here's Grace. My guess would be either the person who got no votes or the least amount of votes goes to the jury, or there's a challenge and we go to a final 2. I like the third person in final tribal going to the jury and casting the final vote.
Wow.
That would be awesome. That would be so cool. Oh, that would be good because we've never had a tie.
All right. So Probst comes back. He goes, this has never happened in 31 seasons of Survivor. 2 of you have tied, and 1 of you has the least amount of votes. You are now going to the jury. Go cast your vote. Whoa!
Because it could go if Kelly does go, and the way we're thinking about some people seeing her as a goat, it could be a 4-4-2. She gets Sierra and she gets Abby's vote, and the other 8 are split the other way. Kelly, please go join the jury and cast. Go right now and
go
cast
right now
because they'll know obviously. So they'll have a booth. They'll pull down the curtain. There'll be a voting booth right there,
and Kelly is the only one who knows who won Survivor.
And she would not obviously know that now because this is all at the live reunion. That would be amazing.
Whoa. Oh, you mean at the live reunion?
Yes.
No. I was thinking they would do it at the tribal.
No, they don't reveal the final 3 votes.
I know, but they know what they are.
Why do that at tribal? Do it at the live finale.
Because then Kelly's gotten to watch the whole season. It's not fair.
So? Fair to who?
To the 2 people playing.
Nah, do it live. Nah. He can't pull out the votes because then that gives away what's going to happen.
No, he doesn't pull them out. He just says, we have a tie. Kelly, you need to go vote for either Jeremy or Tasha.
So then Kelly has been holding a secret
Kelly-
all this time.
Kelly gets to determine who wins Survivor season 31.
Okay, that's not going to happen because neither one of these is going to happen. But anyway, that would be cool for him to say at the finale, get up, go to that secret booth right over there and
Well,
vote
that'd
for
be
the
fun
winner.
too. Yeah.
That would be
That'd
awesome.
great.
All right. Sorry, Grace. Back to you. This is how good your feedback is. You've already tangented us. We've tangented it 2 or 3 times. I'm thinking it's going to be a tie, which is for sure a Survivor first. Hope this makes sense. Oh, it made absolute sense because we took it to other places. I'm about to send in my audition material to casting, so wish me luck. Good luck.
Good luck.
Especially nowadays since they mainly recruit people and don't pay much attention to video submissions. Anyway, thanks, guys. Looking forward to hearing what you have to say on this show.
Thank you, Grace.
Outstanding. Love
This is
theories.
the same Grace that's in our chat room right now. All right, next we have Lindsay. Hey, guys. So I don't know if it's just the editing, but it seems like Spencer dodged a bullet in terms of voting this week. If he voted for Tasha and Abby voted for Keith, his alliance with Jeremy would be toast. Do you think he realized that he couldn't trust Abby to vote for Tasha? Well, we do think that, yes. Or does he really think he can beat Jeremy in the end? Either way, I'm very excited to see what happens for the first time in Survivor history next week and hoping my MVP from day one, Spencer, can make it to the end. Cheers, Lindsay Patrick.
I can certainly see Spencer feeling like he's building enough of a resume that he could beat Jeremy. You know, playing the game the way he is, he can feel like he's doing it, whereas the jury may not feel the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Oh, thanks, Matt, in chat room. Thank you. All right, David, you got the next one.
Steve Tarantino, our New York graphic artist friend. Hey, D&D, now that Joga is gone, Keith is the target. At the reward, Keith wins it, and Jeff asks to pick one person. Then asked again, picks another person. Since it is this type of a reward, you know there will be more than one person going on the reward. Jeremy didn't look happy with his picks. Dang, that food looks good. Back at camp, they were talking about what they're going to do. Tasha asked Abby if they could talk without her. I think Tasha should have talked with her and then talked again without her. I agree. Bad move with Tasha. Why make waves? Which we know now that Abby doesn't care for Tasha, according to what their secret scene is. It turned out Abby, she was voted out, so it didn't matter. But I think this was a bad play on her part. You never know if you need Abby's help later in the game. Yeah, like in the jury. Tasha was talking to Spencer about bringing people to the end that earn it. No, not for $1 million. You bring someone that you are going to win against.
Yep.
Not that someone earns it. Who cares about earning it? Take the money. How many times do you get this chance to play for $1 million? Yeah, where's that integrity guy? Where is he? Oh, that's right. He's on the jury. Okay.
That's right.
The immunity challenge. Keith didn't win, and Spencer wins it. Do you think the puzzle should be a little more tougher?
Well,
I did think about that.
Hey, it's a very difficult puzzle.
Yes.
But they should have changed it so that it wasn't identical.
True. Very true.
So, all right.
They could have just turned the box one
No,
clockwise or something.
it wouldn't matter. Where, David?
But you know what? They had to been going, okay, it's just 5 pieces. After that maze they had to run through pretty much to get just the key. So I think it was way too easy. At tribal council, so Abby was voted out. I feel it was a mistake to have Keith still in the game. You can see he is strong at challenges. Maybe it won't matter, but he can win out to the finals. Here was our chance, tribe. The previews for next week. Jeff said this is a first in 31 seasons. Question, is this on the island when they are still in the game or in the finale live? Maybe a tie. Maybe both people use their idol. What do you guys think? Also, how do you feel people voting at the final tribal council in the past Survivor seasons? Do you think they vote on the person that needs the money or they vote who played the best game? Myself, I think they vote on how they played the game. What do you guys think?
Ultimately, I think it's personal. But it also changes each season.
I think it changes each season too. I do think it is kind of personal. And even like Andy and Steve have said, you kind of want to vote for the person you're okay with winning your season.
Right.
You know, when you walk away from it, I'm okay with Kim Spradlin winning my season.
Yeah,
absolutely. You know, as good as she played and as dominant as she was. So,
which is a good case for why Abby couldn't win, because no one would want to be able to say Abby beat me this season.
Right.
Although they did it a couple seasons ago with the surfer dude.
Judd.
Yeah.
Or Fabio.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Let's see. The previews for next week. Oh, sorry. I already read that. In the finale, I like Jeremy, Kelly, calls her glasses, and Kelly with glasses, I guess, and Spencer. I think the best speech will take the money. I know Spencer/Kelly can talk. I don't know how Jeremy will do. Not happy that the finale is on a Wednesday. I like a Sunday finale. Someone said because of the football. I guess that makes sense. Okay, next week, baby. New York graphic artist Steve.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, I like Sundays too, but I think for continuity and not to throw things off, they kept it back on Wednesdays. I'm good with that.
Right. All right. It is time for some audio feedback. And our first audio feedback is Will.
What's up, guys? It's Will from Wonder Lake again, a.k.a. the Giant Ninja. Well, it is now 7:38 p.m. on Thursday, meaning that feedback was due like an hour ago. And obviously, I haven't gotten that in yet. Plus, I'm driving in my Jeep, which I know drives Dwayne crazy because of the audio. So there's the engine revving for you, Dwayne. But I did want to give you guys some quick feedback because I know that I've missed the last 2 weeks, and I wanted to let you know what I'm thinking about the season right now. Obviously, I'm loving this season. I'm loving where it's going, but I wanted to look at last night's decision of the 4 that voted together from the perspectives of Tasha and from Spencer, because one of them made a huge mistake and the other may have just won the game. First, the huge mistake. In my opinion, that's Tasha. Tasha should not have gone with Jeremy and Spencer. The reason is she can't beat them. So even if she makes the final 3 with those 2, that they don't backstab her or each other, she's not going to win the game. I think she might beat Kimmy, but with their 4, Jeremy or Spencer will be in the final 3 if that 4 sticks together. That means Tasha loses. Tasha needed to go with the women. She needed to keep the women together and try and get to the end with Abby and Kimmy or Abby and Keith. And she could have done either one of those things, but she chose not to. On the other hand, Spencer made a great play last night. And a lot of people are criticizing it. A lot of people are saying, Spencer, what are you doing? You could have gone to the end with Abby and Keith. Well, no, he couldn't have. And here's why. Abby and Keith would not have chosen Spencer over Kelly. So the only way Spencer gets to a final 3, if he goes with Abby, Keith, and Kelly, is by winning immunity at final 4. If he had voted with that group of 3, then he had to win immunity at 4 to get to the end. Meanwhile, going with Jeremy and Tasha and Kimmy, he is likely to make the final 3 whether he wins immunity or not. Obviously, Spencer needs to get to the end. If he puts himself in a position where he will not make it to the end but for an immunity win, that's a mistake in his gameplay. And that's what it would have cost him if he had gone with Kelly, Keith, and Abby. Because while Abby and Keith might have chosen Tasha over Kelly, thinking that they have a better chance at winning, they will not choose Spencer over Kelly because they will believe that they have no chance to beat Spencer, and they would have loyalty toward Kelly for the last half of the game. If he had gone with that group of 3, if Spencer had been the 4th, he would have been just that, the 4th, with no chance of moving up. Because of that, I think that Spencer was exactly right to go with Jeremy and Tasha. So where does the season go from here? Well, in my opinion, I was 1 week early on my prediction of dueling hidden immunity idols. I think we're going to see that at Final 6. I think the group of 4 that voted together is going to vote together again. And they're going to vote for Kelly because they should. Kelly's the biggest threat left in the game. Kelly and Keith are going to vote for Jeremy because they should. Jeremy's the biggest threat left in the game, at least on the other side. Kelly is going to play her idol. Jeremy is going to play his idol. All 6 votes are going to be nullified. As a result of that, Kelly and Jeremy are going to be immune on a revote, as is the person who would have won immunity, which I suspect will be Keith. And if I'm right, that means that Tasha, Spencer, or Kimmy goes home. And my money's on Kimmy, because I think the 3 of Tasha, Jeremy, and Spencer stay loyal to each other. I think that's our final 3. As much as I'd love to see Kelly make it, and as much as I'm pulling for her, I think we're looking at Spencer, Jeremy, and Tasha. And I don't know who I'd vote for between Spencer and Jeremy. They've both played great. Well, that's all I've got. Later, peeps. Will act the...
Oh, that's a noisy Jeep. Oh, that was good feedback. You have anything to say about it?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I don't think anybody wants to take Spencer to the final and risk that because he's playing such a wild card game where he's doing a lot on his own, working with multiple groups of people. I think it would be a risk for anyone to take him. I don't think Jeremy and Tasha want to take him, but I think he's right. I don't think Kelly, Keith, and Abby would want to take him. But at the same time, you still got to keep people in the game that you can beat. And I think he can easily beat Abby, and he had a chance to take out Tasha, and if you take out Tasha, then you weaken Jeremy, so if you take out Tasha, you're obviously going to be Jeremy's enemy. So, but I don't think anybody wants to take Spencer to the end. So no matter which group he went with, it was still going to be tough for him to make it to the end, I think.
Right. All right. We have one more feedback, and it's from Vader Girl.
Hi, D&D. This is a second-time caller, Miriam, a.k.a. Beta Girl. I just wanted to thank you guys again so much for providing such a great forum for discussions, wonderful podcasts. They're very well thought out, and I think you guys are just awesome, amazing. I can't wait to see you Field of Dream it, and I believe everything will happen. My question is about the edit. What did you guys think about this week's edit? I feel like Kelly Wentworth was portrayed much better this time. They showed her facial expressions as she was working the jury. They showed her really being strategic and just doing really well. And I was very happy to see that. I also was very happy to see Abby Maria's Ponderosa video where she was made to look very happy and no drama. And it was actually Andrew Savage and Cass who was doing a little bit of drama, and the other Kelly. So anyways, I wanted to see what you guys thought about the edit, and I'm hoping and I'm believing that all of that horrible stuff that happened last week on social media is not happening anymore, and these 2 women can now celebrate their accomplishments as strong warrior survivor contestants who are really epic and who are really, great role models and survivor warriors. I'm very excited. Team Wentworth, I love you, girl, but I am Team Jeremy all the way. I've been Team Jeremy since day one, so I am definitely hoping for a Team Jeremy win, which I'm believing is kind of being shown in the edit. And anyways, go Jeremy, and I love you all, and have a wonderful day.
Way to go, Vader Girl. She's in our chat room. She heard her audio start, and she went, uh-oh. Good job. All right, my friends. Did you have anything to say about that?
No, it was good.
Yeah, I didn't either. So, all right. It is time for
Pondering Ponderosa.
Man, what a great Ponderosa video.
Actually, my thoughts on Ponderosa actually lead into what she just was saying in her feedback. This was probably one of the more interesting Ponderosas that we've seen so far.
I know.
There was as much drama here as it was at Tribal Council.
Yeah. Boy, I tell you what, the two most bitter people on the jury are Savage and Wigglesworth.
I was waiting for Abby to say, "Hey, isn't this my Ponderosa video?"
Yeah.
At the beginning, she should have said, "I'm Abby. This is my Ponderosa video starring Andrew Savage and Cass
Yeah.
McQuillan."
Yeah. Well, she gets fireworks because apparently she was voted off on July 4th.
How about them apples?
This was very interesting. Abby walks into Ponderosa, and before she's ever alone with anybody, she calls out Cass as being the queen of Ponderosa. She says, "I've heard you're the queen of Ponderosa, and that Savage is your husband," or something like that.
Yeah.
And there were some like, what? How would you even know that? How's that for interesting?
That is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I was wondering that myself. Hear
So
that
what-
from I hear.
Yeah. So what happened to start all of these Savage and Cass bickering? Abby says Tasha's fake. And Cass replies, "I'm not commenting, but let me just tell you, Savage is sensitive on the subject." And Savage goes off. He's like, bad.
But he does it in such a calm way. It's one of those things where it can get annoying if somebody doesn't respond in the same way you do. And it's I hate to pick on anybody, but it was just kind of I don't know. It was weird. It was just weird the way you keep saying that, Cass. You save it like 15 times already. And I've said it. You say one thing around here and it just gets carried over. And Cass is like, "Yeah, because it's interesting. I want to talk about it."
That's right.
You got to know not to say anything around Cass.
Right. Abby says Savage can be a butthole and Cass can be an instigator. And then she says to them, "Gosh, guys, I'm having a freaking burger." So she's in between them while they're arguing. So she does a confessional where she calls Savage and Cass those things. But then she says to them, "Gosh, guys, I'm having a freaking burger. Chill out."
Abby is the calmer. She's the one calming people down.
So then there's another thing going on at Ponderosa. Apparently they are now to the point where they have to have roomies. And the only person that's not rooming with anybody right now is Wigglesworth. And Wigglesworth apparently cannot stand Abby. So that was going around for a while. But Abby ended up staying with Sierra.
Yes.
And Sierra said it was the first time since she's been at Ponderosa that she actually got a good night's rest.
Yeah.
She liked it.
She got her spoon buddy.
Yeah, she's got good clothes. She's got great stuff. And so
this should tell you something about Abby, in that everybody felt eventually to get rid of Wigglesworth because she was getting friends with so many people. But the one person she couldn't be friends with or wasn't friends with was Abby.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me laugh when Abby says, "I did not get a chance to change my game. I did not. I came in with such, I guess, reputation or stereotype or whatever. I did not get a chance. I regret not getting a chance to change my game."
Yeah, she
and I say, well, Cass did.
Mm-hmm.
What did Cass do? Cass acted differently. Yes, she was on a tribe that won. That was in her favor. But Cass acted differently than she did the first time she played.
Right.
Abby had just as many opportunities to act differently, but she didn't. She acted the same way she did before.
Abby doesn't understand why she's considered annoying.
Right.
She just honestly does not understand it. She doesn't understand it.
Yeah, I think Probst has said that many times. He doesn't think she understands how she's perceived, how she's seen. So
she said this was a rough season for me, a lot of personal attacks, but and I love the way it ends, a teary confessional about how her mom telling her she's a fighter, and that's what kept her going. So
you think we'll see her again?
I doubt it.
Really?
Maybe. I guess maybe in a Heroes versus Villains.
If we have a Heroes versus Villains, I would bet she's back.
Golly. You know how we used to make fun of Rocky was going to have Rocky 28 and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Survivor season 69.
Abby Maria gets her 33rd chance.
Yes, it's time for Abby Maria Survivor Geritol episode. So,
yes.
All right.
But like Matt G.
Sorry, I thought we were done. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm like Abby at Ponderosa. She was different. at Ponderosa than she was out in the game. Matt says he liked her at Ponderosa, and she is. You got a little bit better feel of her, how she is around people not in the game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she's gone there saying she's going to be the one that decides, and she's going to decide who gets the $1 million.
Yeah. All right. It is time for
You write them. We read them. iTunes Reviews.
That's right. iTunes reviews are a wonderful way to help people find us on iTunes, and we like to read them. So we have 2 new iTunes reviews this week. First one is from Survivor Will, 5 stars. He titles it a must for Survivor fans, funny and insightful. And he goes on to write a really nice review. And then the next one is from Polar Bear 79, gives us 5 stars and titles the review Survivor Talk with D&D.
Mm-hmm. How about that?
Yeah,
nice title.
But the review is really good. So I encourage you to go to iTunes. You can get there from the link on our website. It's the logo to the left of the featured articles. And you can read their full reviews. Go ahead and mark them as helpful. Leave your own review. And that is iTunes Reviews. Thank you so very much. We do not have a Mikos challenge tonight because, and I quote, "I'm tired," unquote. That was from Miko.
We appreciate the effort, though.
Yeah. But he promises to have an amazing one next week. So I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. D&D Survivor Challenge. The confessional counts are not up on the site from which we get them. So we are not able, unless they've come in since then. Have they come in since, David?
No.
Okay.
I was just checking.
So we are not able to tell you how far past the nerd herd Cool Cats has gone.
You think you're really far or just a few far?
Guarantee you we are far ahead of you.
Okay, so Keith won reward.
Yep.
And he took 2 nerd herders on the reward.
Okay, big deal.
Spencer and Kelly got lots of confessionals. In fact, I was almost mentally counting. Oh, there's Tasha. Oh, there's Spencer. It was almost equaling out. There were still 2 idols. They kill each other. And then Spencer won individual immunity. So, if you got ahead of us, which you probably did, I think we're still within 10 easily.
Well, maybe, but we're still ahead of you, and we're going to continue to beat you.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, well, let's wrap up the show and talk a little Christmas movie. What do you say? We got time.
Okay.
All right. All right. Whether you watch or listen, thank you. Thank you for tuning in and sharing our show with others. That's how the show grows. A huge thank you to our D&D patrons. It's the beginning of the month, so we got our patron financial support, and we really appreciate it. Basically, for as little as $1, I think the largest amount we get is $12 a month. You can give as much as you want. You can support the show and help us pay for our monthly bills and our yearly bills that are coming up in January. Also, when you shop Amazon, always go to our website first. Use our links. That is the easiest way to support us. You got to join the Facebook group, my friends. It is a lot of fun. stwdd.com/Facebook. And that will get you to our Facebook group. We also have a Facebook page, but not a lot happens on that because pages really aren't designed for conversation. And since our Facebook group is a lot of conversation, we made it a conversation. So,
yeah.
And we have 4 bloggers, Brian, Shayna, Alex, and Colton Cumby, and they're all blogging. So get yourself over there, stwdd.com, and check them out. Have you seen any, that's it for Survivor Talk. Let's do a little bit of, have you seen any Christmas movies yet? Or are you too busy with your production?
No, that starts Saturday. It's not the production, it's the live nativity drive-through. We start building it Saturday. It begins Sunday night for the whole week.
Are you going to be doing it on the 20th?
No, but I was doing a production this past Sunday night for kids, for our kids.
Oh, I saw your pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
You look so cute.
What you didn't see was me dump that mug beside me that's as big as what you're holding right now was half full of hot chocolate. and I had to dump it in my lap as part of the skit.
Oh,
so
wow.
you didn't see that. That
Well,
was
why
fun.
did you put hot chocolate? You could have used warm or cold chocolate.
Do you really think I would dump hot chocolate? That's just what I call it, is hot chocolate full of marshmallows.
Okay. All right.
So, and here's a little Christian joke for you. Part of the skit, I ad lib a lot when I do drama and skits, and the guy I was
Really?
doing it with, yes, the guy I was doing it with played Jesus for many, many years. And when we did a scene together, it's me as Peter and him as Jesus. I always told him, I said, "Hey, just play along. I'm going to do something different tonight." And he begged me not to do anything different, but I just things just come across. So part of my skit was how I was setting up the perfect set to tell the Christmas story. And what was going to happen was I was going to spill the hot chocolate in my lap, destroy my notes, and then me and the kids in the audience and some of the parents were going to set up a Mad Libs where you fill in the blanks
That's awesome.
and tell the Christmas story that way. So that's what I ended up doing. But I just kept having these ideas about how to spill the hot chocolate, how to do this and the other. Part of it was I have the perfect lamp, the perfect fireplace, the perfect chair, the perfect hot chocolate with the perfect number of marshmallows. When I was backstage, I counted the marshmallows and there was 12. I said, "Oh, I could put them all in, then go to 12 and then go make a joke out of it." So I'm putting in the marshmallows. I'm like, "Look, see, there's 7. Oh, there's more. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, like the disciples." And I said, "Oh, wait." And I pull one out and said, "This is Judas." And I throw it off the stage. So just little jokes here and there, having fun. But what'd you say? The 20th is on a what? What is
Sunday
that on?
night. Sunday night, the 20th.
I don't think so. I think it ends Saturday night, the 19th.
Well, now wait. Okay. Well, wait a second. What about the Thursday after the finale?
No, it's not all week. It's not all week.
Okay.
It's Friday, Monday, Wednesday, which I'm not doing that night. And then I think it's Friday, Saturday.
Okay. So we're available. Okay. So next Thursday will be our finale recap and discussion and feedback show.
Right.
Right. And this is random, but okay. And then Sunday, we could have Kelly as early as next Sunday.
Yeah, it ends on the 19th. So I'm not busy on Sunday night.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've only watched 2 Christmas movies so far. And part of that's because I've been catching up on Star Wars.
Yeah.
I've been rewatching Star Wars. But anyway, I've seen It's a Wonderful Life, which you've still not ever seen, right?
Correct.
That's just crazy, David.
I know. It's all over TV, but I haven't watched it yet.
And I watched Elf.
Oh, yeah. We have that one.
But
Just
I
haven't
haven't
watched it yet.
I haven't watched it anymore.
See, we're trying to catch up on stuff. We just caught up on Shield.
Yeah.
Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
Finished that. And I'm catching up on Fargo, the second season. About 4 episodes into that. That's really good.
Yeah.
And
I tell you what, I'm enjoying this season is Elementary.
have not started yet.
Last season kind of went down a little bit for me. This season, it's back up.
Good.
Loving it.
I haven't started that yet, so that's good. I'm looking forward to that. What was I just watching? I just finished watching something.
I finished Longmire. That was amazing.
Oh, we haven't watched the new season of Longmire on Netflix.
Oh my gosh. The last season is the best.
On Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you've seen all the other previous seasons?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
We binge watched them. Connie and I did.
Good. Yeah, we like that show. That's the one Terry and I watch. What did I just Gotham. I finished up on Gotham.
Yuck.
And I haven't started Jessica Jones yet, but Daredevil was awesome. But yeah, Fargo I'm catching up on, but we got to start. Our thing is having nights at home. And we're finally starting to get nights at home as a family so we can start watching Christmas movies. But we do want to watch It's a Wonderful Life. And I also want to watch the black and white Miracle on 34th Street. I've never seen that all the way through. I think I have seen it, but it's a long time ago.
We watch that one every year too.
Yeah. And then we'll watch Elf and Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
I usually have that playing Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah? Well, will you not watch A Christmas Story?
Oh, Terry just brought that home from the library. We actually don't own it, but the library actually had it.
How do you not own that movie?
Well, you just don't own that movie.
And The Muppet Christmas Carol. Hello.
See, I'm not the big Muppet fan that you and your kids are.
All right, here's the problem. I think I mentioned this last year.
Uh-huh.
The Muppet Christmas Carol has the most amazing song in it. When love is gone, when love is gone. However, they took it out of all of the later versions of the movie.
Really?
So my early DVD of it has it, but Nathan bought me the Blu-ray, and it skips the song. It's my favorite part of the whole movie. Every time I watch it, I cry.
Wow. I can't. Why would they take that out of the movie?
I don't know. It was amazing part. All right, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you all for listening tonight.
I'm actually looking up the song.
I've got to do some editing. I've got to do all this editing. Got to get our newsletter ready. I don't know if you know this, but we have a Survivor Talk with D&D email newsletter. You can sign up on our website in the sidebar on one of the pages that has our podcasts and stuff. All right. So that's all I got. So bye, everybody.
I'm good too. See ya.
See ya.